Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm making shawarma chicken thighs out of the Gourmia little cookbook that they send with the air fryer. GTF 7655 is the model number. Evidently, that's cool that it's right there, then I'll always know. It's just a small one. But it's nice to get started with, especially if you're not accustomed to cooking like an all-star in an air fryer like me. I just hope to clarify that I'm saying I'm not an all-star air fryer cooker, so I need this. But I did make kebabs yesterday that I found online, and honestly, I just hated the video so much. So I will make kebabs again at some point, but they did turn out really good. And then last night I tried to experiment and put in 2 baked potatoes. I just cut them in half and cooked them on the fry setting, and guys, it took way longer than just sticking them in the microwave. Plus you had to like poke holes and rub butter in it to get it to cook better and faster. So I don't recommend the air fryer for baked potatoes, even though you can do it. Maybe if I would have put it on the bake setting and just cooked it like a regular old-fashioned baked potato in the oven. That's for a different time. So today we're making the shawarma chicken thighs. It's actually kind of fun to say, shawarma. So it's calling for 8 small. And so when I was looking for these, I did pick out small chicken thighs, skin on chicken thighs. And it's skinless, so that sucks, but that's all Walmart had. Cumin, salt, coriander, and I do not have coriander. I was looking at Walmart, and theirs was kind of more pricey than what I wanted to pay for today, so I bought cilantro. And if you don't know, coriander is cilantro seeds, just ground up. So I'm pretty similar here. I don't know how it's going to turn out. Maybe I'll just use a little bit of cilantro. Anyway, black pepper, cardamom, cinnamon, medium cloves of garlic, grated or minced, olive oil, and a lemon quartered for a serving. It looks to me like there's rosemary in that picture. What is that for? Just for garnish or something? You're not going to cook with the rosemary? Anyway, so I got all that set out, minus the coriander, but I'm substituting with cilantro like I said. And I'm cleaning the, racks. So don't mind that. It is still relatively early. It's only 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So I'm going to make this for supper. It doesn't say anything about marinating, but I have half of a mind to go ahead and just whip this bad boy up and let it start marinating. But on the other hand, I don't know. We'll just cook it as the recipe says for today. That way, because I'm already substituting coriander with cilantro, which isn't a far cry, but yeah. All right. Well, I'll get back to you in about an hour or so when I get ready to start whipping these bad boys up. It says it only takes 10 minutes to prep, 20 to 25 minutes to cook, so I probably won't even get started on it until another hour and a half, to be honest. And that's still an early dinner. So I will check in with you guys later. It's like not even 3 yet. And I don't care. I'm going to go ahead and make this now. And we got the keep warm setting on the air fryer, so we'll test that out too. I mean, why not? That's kind of what we're doing anyway, is testing product out and making food with it, because I'm no air fryer genius. I've not eaten a lot out of air fryers. And like I said before, the last one I've had, I just didn't care for it. So we'll test this bad boy out. So we'll go ahead and start. Oh, I better preheat the air fryer. Oh, air fry for 100 degrees. So I'm going to turn that down. And then 20 to 25 minutes. But since it's calling for bone and skin on, this is boneless, skinless, I'm going to go ahead and we'll shoot for 20 minutes and see how that goes. So I gotta go get a mixing bowl out. That one's big enough. Spices, garlic, and oil together, so I guess we'll do that in order. Maybe I should get some measuring spoons out. Looks like we're measuring in the teaspoon form. So So I only have a half teaspoon and a teaspoon, so we'll just play with that. That'll work. We'll just have to eyeball the ingredients, I suppose. So we'll start with 2 teaspoons of ground cumin. That's the shaker side. 1. Come on. 2. Alright, and then 1.5 teaspoons of salt. I'm sure what's going in around the spoon is going to be a half teaspoon, so I'll just fill up this teaspoon and call it good and hope it's a teaspoon and a half. Probably. Okay. Then 1 teaspoon ground coriander. Yeah. Here, some cilantro. It's not ground, but I'm going to pick off little pieces. If you don't like cilantro or you're allergic to cilantro like my mom is, obviously you could skip this ingredient. Okay, there's that. Alright. Paprika, half teaspoon of paprika. So it's going up around it too, so I'm not even going to put in a full teaspoon then. Okay, half teaspoon of black pepper. So again, not going to fill up the whole teaspoon since I'm in a shake using shakers. I need to put some rice in these shakers. Alright, that's good enough. Alright, and then 1/4 teaspoon of cardamom, so I gotta be really careful with this one. It is in a shaker as well. Okay, it's ready. I'm gonna go ahead and shut it off. I didn't realize it was gonna heat up that quick. Oh, gotta add some rice in all of these shakers, evidently. Alright, we're gonna call that good. 1/8 teaspoon of ground cinnamon. 1/8 teaspoon? Well, it's a good thing I got like the cheapest kind I could buy, because that's just not a lot of cinnamon anyway. Okay, 1/8 of a teaspoon. Now I got a little sliver here. Okay, that's good. And 2 medium cloves of garlic, grated or minced. Well, you know what I feel like doing is getting my zester out. And I thought I had a garlic press. And evidently I do. Oh, I do. See, because I was looking at this the other day and I thought, well, this can't be a garlic press because where's this part? And I found it. It's separate. I get to play with this doodad. First, I got to clean up my garlic. Pause the video. Okay, so now let me test out my new garlic doodad. Let me turn that air purifier off. Yeah, this house is pretty dusty and we do run an air purifier just because Ryan's got allergies. So, 1 clove. Let's test it. Oh, come on. Come on. Yes, it done it, sort of. It's going to go back in. I'll put the other one. I mean, it doesn't do much better than my lemon zester, except for I don't have to stick my fingers in the way while it's grating. I suppose that's a bonus. Okay, well, we'll try to get the rest of this cleaned up. Or I will. You can't come through the video and do this, so why am I saying we? Alright. Well, that's as good as that's going to get. There's bigger pieces and then smaller pieces. I'm going to try to get the littler pieces out of here. And we'll call that good. Alright. Don't worry, I cleaned off my countertops with just vinegar and water beforehand. And 1 tablespoon of olive oil, but guess what? I'm going to eyeball that. I'm not going to waste a whole tablespoon over something I can eyeball pretty easy. If I have a little bit more, oh well. If I have a little bit less, I got more to add. Now it says to mix spices, garlic, and Earl oil together until a paste is formed. I like to say Earl. I know some people say Oil. It's spelled O-I-L. So if we're going to say Oil, like that, you know, good old boy, or O-L-E, you know, that kind of context. Why can't I call it Earl? Alright. I'm a dork. Rub spice paste evenly onto chicken. Well, it's kind of pasty. See it? I don't know. Maybe I should turn the flash on. There we go. Kind of pasty. Maybe a little bit chunky with some of the spices, but I feel good. So, that being said, rub spices evenly on chicken thighs. Place chicken skin side up on prepared fry basket. And it does suggest that you spray. And I was telling you all this is hard to clean. But in reality, it does tell you to spray your stuff with cooking spray. And that's something I did not pay attention to at the time. So I am telling you so you know. And now we both know, and knowing's half the battle. G.I. Joe. Alrighty. That's warm. I'm going to go ahead and put it over the sink and spray it. Alright. Oh, that's hot. Hot, hot, hot. Be very careful. Alright. I'm going to roll up my sleeves because I'm about ready to get chickeny. Chickeny is a word. I know because I said it. So now I'm supposed to put 8 of them in there. I don't want that to fall out. And then I gotta rub this on there. And I think I'm gonna take one of my silicone brushes and just brush this paste on there. 2, 3. Well, I'll leave them some space. 8. Let me wash my hands. I'll pause. Now I'm going to try to take this paste. It is kind of thick for this brush, so that's kind of concerning. And I am not getting both sides at once. Like it says, I think I'll wait till I'm going to try to flip it over halfway in between maybe. I don't know. We'll see how this works. I've never made this recipe before, obviously, so obviously this is just going to be trial and error, and maybe you'd want to see what I'm doing. Maybe we're better off with the fork at first and then brushing it on afterwards. Brushing it to spread it out, you know. See how that just globbed on back there versus the other chicken? Like, I'm just trying to make sure it's even at least. That needs to be set up. I don't want it to fall on the counter, but it needs to be set off to the side. Alright, well, I'm going to have to set this camera down, and hopefully, yeah, that's a pretty good position. I'll set that brush over there. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to get to rub the underside with it, but that's fine. I mean, what if the seasoning doesn't taste that great anyway? I don't know. It probably does. Probably does taste pretty good. Okay, now I'm going to brush it. There's not a lot on this one back in the back right corner. It's like some of them there's more cilantro than others, and oh well, maybe you'd want more spice on one chicken than another. Maybe you're feeling extra spicy on some point, and then the other point you're like, no, I want mine more plain. So there you go. It's customizable, man. Customizable. Good enough. I can't get perfection. I don't think perfection is expected. We'll just go with that. Maybe somebody is a perfectionist and does cook it way better than me. All right. So, ooh, we better take this off and preheat again, and then we'll add food because it didn't stay warm. That part I still got to figure out. So, we'll get there. It's the learning process. Air fry, 400. Okay, and then the time, 20 minutes. That's fine. We'll start that. All right, guys. I'll get back with you. All right, it says now to add the food, so that's what I'll do. And the timer is automatically going off. I wish there was a way to pause it, but oh, there is. I just gotta push. I'm such a dummy. Such a blondie. All right, I'll check back with you after the 20 minutes. So, in the meantime, while that's cooking, let me just tell you a little bit about my day. Why not? If you don't want to watch this, fast forward. That's fine. Sometimes I don't want to hear people ramble either. I just want to watch the recipe or whatever they're doing. I don't care. Go ahead, fast forward. Anyway, so I was working and I was packing up batteries at Walmart, and typically they have two big what they call battery islanders in the front by the checkouts, right? I was packing out batteries, and by the checkout lane there was a sidekick. I know I'm using all kinds of retail terms for you folks. You probably don't know what that is. Sidekicks are basically the little like side displays at the end of an aisle. You got your end caps obviously with the shelves. Sidekicks are kind of like end caps. They go close to there, but they're still off to the side. All right, anyway, I hit my head on one, and I've got a goose egg, and I touched it, and there was a little bit of blood. Oh, and that hurt. It didn't knock any sense into me, though, but there is a nice goose egg right here. And so, yeah, my hair doesn't look awesome because I've been like, oh. Ooh, I hear it crackling and fizzling. So that's what happened today. So I decided, well, I need to stretch my hours out anyway, and I probably ought to go home and relax. So that's what I'm doing. I plan on having a side salad with this shawarma chicken thighs, and I know that I have that other rack, and I can be cooking a lot more in there. I don't even have, I could use that one tray instead of as a drip pan, because there is a drip pan in there to put in vegetables. Like I could be roasting my bok choy and my Swiss chard and stuff, and all that will come, I think, eventually. But right now, I'm not used to cooking out of an air fryer. I just spoke to my mom earlier. She watched my last video, and she was like, that she didn't care for that air fryer either because I didn't like it, and my dad wanted one. He was set on getting one. And I was like, well, I just have one that you could have. And they tried it, and they didn't care for it either. And I said, well, honestly, I think that these newer ones are better than the first-gen ones. So that's something to consider, too. If you didn't like the air fryers that came out a couple years ago, you might want to consider trying a different one, a newer one with controls on it. And not everything works in an air fryer either. Last night I experimented with baked potatoes, and not only did it take longer to cook the baked potatoes, but in between time I had 2 potatoes, and I cut them in half and laid them on the fryer basket. I did not think that they were cooking, so I poked holes in there. It helped, but then rubbing the butter, and I just set a little little plate with just some butter on top of the air fryer oven, melted it, and then just rubbed it on. Then it cooked better, but it still took like 20 minutes for 2 baked potatoes, whereas you could nuke that for like 8 minutes and it's done, and you don't have to go through all that. I think I did touch on that earlier in this video. Actually, I know I did, come to think about it, but I just wanted to elaborate a little bit more on that. Yeah. Now I'm done talking. Back to the recipe. Why do I feel like this is a grown-up version of an easy bake oven? I just keep thinking that. Alright, now I just kind of want to, ooh, the drip pan did catch a lot. I'm glad I put that foil down there. I'm going to pull the drip pan out, and then I'm going to pull the well, or both together, because that's how it seemed to work out. I want to cut into this and see if it's done or not. I'm trying to move this door out of the way for you so you could see. I got an idea. Alright, there we go. Oh, it's so tender, and it's almost cooked. So I think I'm going to go ahead and cook it for the last, cut them open and let them cook for the last 5 minutes. But it's super juicy and tender. I mean, it's cooking these great. I think the key to this, to the air fryer thing, is if it doesn't already have its own fats, you have to add some fats to it, like the baked potato thing. Like I said, I only did that on air fry setting, not convectional oven or bake setting. So it's like your toaster oven or your regular oven. Air fry 400, 5 minutes. I don't know. Maybe if we kept it on warm too, it would add food. We've already done that. But I mean, maybe if it's just on keep warm, it would, just setting the keep warm or reheat, it would finish cooking it out too. And so I don't want to overcook it, but at the same time, it is really tender. So maybe I'll only keep it warm. Excuse me, I keep burping, for a little bit and see how that does. So again, I will get back with you after this 5 minutes. I'm pretty sure it'll be done cooking after the 5 minutes, especially after I sliced them, which maybe I shouldn't have done, because that will also take away from juiciness and tenderness if you cut into your meat and not let it rest at least 5 minutes after cooking. But, this is a new recipe. I don't know. I'm figuring it out. There's another point I want to touch on real quick, is the fact that if you want to live a fat-free life, that's simply not possible. That's a macronutrient, and your body needs fats to live. If you go low fat, that's fine. You can't get rid of fats altogether. You need them. Now, what you can get away with not having, that's also a macronutrient, is carbohydrates. Your body simply does not need carbohydrates. Your body will in fact feed off of itself when it is starved. Hence the keto diet, you're tricking your body into thinking it's starved, and so it has to use up, but you have a surplus of all this fat, so what's it going to burn next? Fat. You are not going to store it up and get clogged arteries if maybe if you eat bad fats, yeah, but your body's going to burn it. It's called being in ketosis. You're basically tricking your body into that state. Your body will feed off of itself, and one thing your body does not store on its own is carbohydrates. Carbohydrates turn into fat if you don't burn them. And my body is not exactly efficient for burning carbohydrates, hence the reason why I gain weight so easily. And my pants are getting tight, so I have to go back onto a lower carb diet for sure. I don't know if it'll be keto yet, but I don't want to go out and buy new clothes, folks. So I'm just telling you, that's how my body operates. Some people can eat whatever they want and stay thin as a toothpick, and God bless them, because I wish I had that metabolism. But they also can have sneaking detrimental effects at some point afterwards. Maybe they develop diabetes or high blood pressure or, high cholesterol. There's just because you're skinny doesn't mean you're healthy. In fact, a lot of people that are deprived of nutrients end up losing weight when they eat junk food instead of gaining weight. And I only know that because I was starting to watch that Yeonmi Park chick, the North Korea defector, and all that stuff, and was learning about her. And she came to the United States, ate Oreos, nothing but Oreos, and yeah, she ended up losing weight after eating all the junk food because she was so malnourished throughout her life. Even though she ate bugs and vegetables and all that stuff, it was still sparingly. North Korea is like way crazy. Anyway, beyond that, those are, everybody's body's different, but those are some of the main key points to touch on. Is just because you're skinny doesn't mean you're healthy, and all that jazz. Now we got 13 seconds left on this since I talked your ear off for like 3 minutes. We'll just wait for it to get done. And look, the makeshift drip pan didn't catch all that. That's fine. We'll just stick a rag under there, sop it up. Alright. And it looks done, guys. I mean, just looking at it, we're going to go ahead and stick it on the keep warm setting. That's very tender. Thoroughly cooked. I mean, it's hard to say at this point, so we could definitely put it in there on the keep warm setting. 200 degrees for 30 minutes, great. And I'm sure it's delicious. I don't know if you'll be able to see me or Ryan eating this on film because we appreciate our family time and all that stuff. Maybe though, maybe. We'll see how that goes. But guys, it did cook it wonderfully. Like I said, you have to have fats when you're using the air fryer, whether you coat something or not, because like the baked potato on air fry, it didn't work out. Those are just my observations so far with this new gadget, So I will sign off with saying, I love you, and so does Jesus, and God bless you all, and thank you for watching. Till next time.